In today's video, we're going to be diving into the upcoming pattern where we still expect colder temperatures to persist essentially from this point on in the eastern and central United States, and we really don't have an end in sight still. I mean, early June is looking just as cool as the next few days is, and it's really just not, we're not seeing a warm up yet, essentially. We have a couple more days of severe weather expected, and then thankfully this cold pattern, although, in the summertime and late spring like this, I want it to be warm to even hot. I live near the beach, so I obviously enjoy it being at least in the 80s, but the good thing that is going to come from this is it will likely slow down a lot of our severe weather that is upcoming, and we're going to discuss that pretty largely today. I do see some opportunities for severe weather, but we've had a very intense past week of severe weather, and thankfully it is going to slow down from that point moving forward. Deep south, southeast could see more activity than the areas further northward. Let's just dive into things, and we're taking a look at the temperature pattern. We're very neutral today, where there's some warmer, some cooler in these pockets. By the northern states, it's already far below normal. But as we move towards this evening and into tomorrow and into Thursday especially, the pattern becomes clear. We see this warming trend out west, and we call this a positive PNA. And as that begins to expand, it is going to encourage this cold to just kind of deep dive into the eastern states here. And we're going to see that pattern kind of just persist. Here's Friday. And we talked about this yesterday, but these outer blues are 1 to 10 degrees below normal. The greens are going to be 10 to 15 degrees below normal. And these light purple, kind of purplish blue colors in here are going to be 25 or 15 to 25 degrees below normal, which is a huge departure from what's typical. So this isn't just a measly little cold front. It's a full-blown Arctic blast. And the reason I call it that, a lot of people have this misconception when I say that I'm calling for frigid temperatures, literally freezing conditions. All I mean is that there is an Arctic air mass from northern Canada just blasting down into the United States, bringing these very abnormally cold temperatures. So I just want to clarify that up front. And as we just move towards that next weekend, this will actually be Memorial Day weekend here, Saturday the 24th. Those cold temperatures are persisting. Sunday the 25th as well. And then also into Monday the 26th, which is actually Labor Day. And by this point, we can see this positive PNA is surging way up into Canada. So it's actually intensifying. A lot of our coolest temperatures are also moving southward, which is common. There is still a battle zone in here. It's just really far to the south, and this might lead to some more thunderstorm activity in here, even severe weather at times. But what we have been seeing is a lot of these northern severe weather threats. That has shifted far to the south. And typically when we see these lows riding along this further south area, that is going to limit the actual space that is experiencing the severe weather conditions. And sometimes even it's going to lower the actual impacts overall. Hopefully we can hope for that at least. Tuesday the 27th, Wednesday the 28th, we're moving straight through the end of May here. This is Saturday the 31st. We do see some cooler temperatures growing here for the Northwest as well as Western Canada, but we still have these very warm conditions in the Southwest. And it looks like we are getting some warmth moving eastward, especially the closer you are to that Canadian border. But we still have this really cold blob to the southeast. And what we see happening, unfortunately, is as we reach towards Wednesday, the 4th of June, we actually see this positive PNA just really get a resurgence of intensity, and we see the cold air is moving back into the eastern states as a result of that. The only thing we can hope for here is that this is just so far out that we actually see some differences once we're getting closer, which there's a very good chance of that, and I'm certainly hoping for that. But I just can't help but mention that I feel like anytime the weather is suggesting something I don't want to happen in the long range, it always comes true. And then in the long range, if it's showing something I'm actually hoping for, that's when it tends to fold away. I know that's thinking emotionally, not logically, but I just have a bad feeling about this. That we're going to have a very cool start to the summer here, unfortunately. Looking at the overall storminess, again, we do have a couple of days of severe weather still expected. We have an enhanced risk for today. For these storms just to the east of this pretty decent low, 998 there near northern Missouri. So let's move it towards this evening, kind of late afternoon, evening. We see Illinois here. We see these thunderstorms popping off. So we have a lot of activity, and there is some snowfall up here for the northern Rockies, northern plains, Cascade mountain ranges, also showers for those areas that aren't experiencing thunderstorms or snowfall, better yet. And as we move our way towards Wednesday afternoon, we do see some thunderstorms present for the southeast up into the southern mid-Atlantic as well as the Gulf Coast. These are ushering a moderate risk, or marginal risk as of now. So definitely it is on the lower end as of now, but still could see some dangerous storms for the final day of that event. By Thursday, this is when we're reaching into that full-blown Arctic blast pattern, where we have this trough in the east, ridge in the west. Really, really stubborn pattern. We have a nor'easter here, which is pretty classic, so heavier rainfall. Some wind ongoing with this system as well for Thursday the 22nd. That nor'easter moves up, and then what we get is these systems sliding further to the south, and there's no real parent low, so this isn't a super dynamic system whatsoever. But we do see spread thunderstorms, heavier rainfall happening in these deeper south locations. And what we're going to see actually is this is going to slip even further to the south over time. And this is exactly what I was talking about yesterday. Really persistent storminess for this Gulf Coast and southeast area here as we reach towards the week after that Arctic blast moves in, essentially. So the next week, this is Wednesday of next week, the 28th. And we see that storminess sticks around. We actually see this one become a nor'easter as well offshore. The reason this is happening is because your jet stream is actually moving up the coast here. So if these systems are moving along that jet stream, they move offshore, intensify, and become a nor'easter. And that's what we're seeing here. Heavy rainfall happening across some of the southeast, mid-Atlantic, even the Ohio Valley and Northeast getting some impacts from that. And as we head towards Friday the 30th, we see that nor'easter actually impacts the New England area, as they tend to do. And then after that point, we do get a couple of more cold fronts moving through. So things warm up a little bit, and we get these cold fronts. This could be some thunderstorms up there to even severe weather, although this is 300 hours out, so expect the details to change. Then we get another system slipping up northward in Canada with another dragging cold front. This could pose a threat for thunderstorm and severe weather activity. But again, we're looking at the early June timeframe on May 20th, which is going to be considered the long range. So it's really, really hard to say what out of all of this will actually end up happening by this point, if any of it will. So we're not really seeing much in the way of severe weather activity until we're at a range that's really hard to predict. So that's tremendous news. We at least look to get a breather from all of this activity, which is just tremendous. The total precipitation has slipped a little northward with the heart of it, but it's still further south than it has been. We see a lot of the lower Midwest, southern plains, deep south areas into the lower mid-Atlantic and upper southeast regions, kind of in the heart of it. But really, if you're east of the plains, we are seeing a decent amount for most areas. Looking at the anomalies, again, a lot of these areas being above average precipitation, a lot of it being below where that positive PNA takes over. Doesn't only cause above average temperatures out there and below average temperatures in the east, it actually causes a lot of high pressure too, which deflects a lot of these storms from happening in the west, which can be the reason that we're seeing this decrease in activity out there. Then the colder, lower pressure area in the east sees a lot more, which again is fairly typical in these types of patterns. Now, looking at the Storm Prediction Center outlooks, here's day one, Tuesday the 20th here. Today, we see 3 general thunderstorm risk areas in the lighter greens, and as the name suggests, that is where we see general thunderstorms expected, and no severe weather is expected, but anything is possible. So heat every watch, warning, and advisory. The darker green area there across a lot of areas in the east is going to be your level 1 marginal risk for today, where we expect isolated severe weather to occur. The yellow region in there being the level 2 slight risk, where we expect scattered severe weather. And then your orange enhanced risk area for the deeper south through into Tennessee and Kentucky. That is where we're expecting more widespread activity. Again, level 3 enhanced risk. And I still think there's a chance that we see an upgrade to a moderate risk, although the clock is ticking. So we'll see if that ends up happening or not. We've just seen really, really terrible severe weather days the last few days, even to the last week. So I feel like it's safer to bet on the upside of things as far as the upside of potential impacts, but we'll see what they do for today on Tuesday. Regardless, dangerous severe weather expected in a lot of these areas. Day 2 tomorrow on Wednesday the 21st, again a marginal risk. We have 2 general thunderstorm risk areas as well, and then this marginal risk up the southeast coast from Florida all the way to Virginia and West Virginia there, where we expect some isolated severe weather potentially tomorrow on Wednesday. Day 3, which will be Thursday, you can see things really quiet down. We have 3 general thunderstorm risk areas and a marginal risk for Texas and Oklahoma. But this is really, really low end for a late May day. So this is what we would consider quiet. You're going to see days like this most every day until the fall time. So this is pretty good. We can definitely take this and as opposed to what we've been seeing for the past 7+ days. So with all that being said, we upload every single day, so be sure to subscribe. You can even hit the bell icon for daily notifications when we upload so you never miss one. Be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.